top, hitting the beat. Yeah, I got a real pretty
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What up? What up? How y'all doing out there?
What's up, E?
E double.
Oh, I
What's
can't
going
call
on,
it, man. We're getting
E
together.
double.
Just our thoughts.
E double.
What you got, E? What you got for
Easy.
top five?
Hey, listen, my top
Come on.
5 movies, that has been difficult for me over the years, good brother. No, seriously, because there's been a lot of good movies that come out on the regular.
Yeah.
I had to nail it down, my top 5 movies. First one, I'm going with The Five Heartbeats. I like that one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Hey,
Good
listen,
one.
Yeah.
I don't
Good
care
one.
what I'm
Good
doing.
one.
If
Good
I'm
one.
flipping through some channels,
Good
BET,
one.
whatever, and The Five Heartbeats come on,
Yeah.
listen, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and stop what I'm doing and watch that piece.
Yup.
Hey, E, remember they got stopped by the cops? I want to hear your boys sing. I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Baby. I remember that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
Oh man.
number 2, I'm going with Spike Lee, Malcolm X. That's
Yo,
what I'm
Malcolm X is a classic, man. Malcolm
Yeah.
X is a classic,
Yeah.
man. Denzel should have got an award for
He
that.
shoulda-
man.
he
definitely
shoulda got-
should've
yeah.
Oscar for that one. Yeah,
Hey,
he
but
here's
definitely
the
should have for that one.
Here's my thing. I just think that whole the production, the cinematography, and the message content was just like second to none. And who could ever forget my man Denzel when he did this right here? Remember this one?
Oh man.
And
Yeah.
he did that.
No man
If he
has
stupid.
that much power.
If you
And-
Come on.
stupid.
Hey, listen,
Come
and
on.
everybody followed. Come on, man. How can you forget that, man?
No, that's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope. That's dope. Come on. Number 3.
Nah, that's what's up. What's up? What you got? 3 and 4.
All right,
Come on, you give us the rest of them.
number three, I'm an Al Pacino fan. So I was struggling with Scarface and The Godfathers. Although they're all in the same genre. all of them are in the same genre, but I'm gonna go with Scarface number 3. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Number 4. My number 4 movie is a movie that first introduced me to fraternities and sororities, what that was all about. So I got to
Okay, I know what that one is.
Jeez.
which is School Days.
Yeah.
Sir.
Quick shout out to Andre Norwood, my frat brother, and other members
sir.
of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. That's number 4. Number
Eternal
5,
scroller. Eternal scroller right here. Eternal scroller.
Hey, where's my man Keith? We lost him. We're gonna keep it moving though.
Yeah. Keep moving. He coming back.
Yep. Hey, listen. So number 5 for me, I'm gonna bring it home with this one. This is a movie, right, that used to be a date night, but could still be a current date night. So I'm going with Love and Basketball, number 5
Yeah.
for me.
Nice.
Those are my top 5.
Nice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are my
Okay.
top 5.
Okay.
Good.
All right, who's going next?
Okay.
Let me hear it.
Go ahead.
What's
Somebody
up?
run theirs down real fast. Go ahead.
Can I get
Go
a piece
Kev.
of this? All right.
Go ahead. Get yours real
I'm gonna
fast.
go.
Okay,
I'm gonna
then.
go from number 5. Number 5, and I'm
E.
dealing with
Coleman.
the '90s. I'm in the '90s. All right.
Uh-huh.
You staying in the 90s?
Yeah, I'm dropping you right now with 1990 House Party, Kid and Play,
Mm-hmm.
Robin Harris, Martin
Uh-huh.
Lawrence as Bilal, the DJ, Tisha Campbell as Sydney, Adrian as Shireen, Full Force as the Bullies. Okay,
Yeah, don't take it personal.
Daryl Chill Mitchell. Okay, all right. But you remember when the cops stopped Robin Harris? He said they pulled the guns out on him. They pulled the guns out on him. He said, y'all stopped me because I'm a poor black man in a poor black neighborhood on a poor black block. All right. So that was number 5. Then I'm gonna go to Brown Sugar, number 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. You got Tate
Nice.
Diggs, you got Mos Def, you got Sanaa Lathan, you got Queen Latifah, you got Boris and Nicole Kojo. What I liked about it was that Tay played the character who was unfulfilled
uh-huh.
in his current job.
Right.
So
Right.
he dropped everything, walked out on faith, right? And launched his own recording company with the one artist, Mos Def, right?
Right.
That's what I loved about it. When you unfulfilled, you just gotta launch out in the deep. All right, come on.
Preach.
Number three.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna hit you with 1991.
Come on.
New Jack City.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Really, you took it back.
1991. You're talking about the crack movement back in the 80s. All right.
Yep.
Wesley Snipes as Nino Brown, Ice-T as Scotty, Alex Payne as who? G Money.
Yeah, G Money.
Come on, y'all.
My brother's keeper.
Man. Chris Rock as Pookie. Chris Williams as the bank account. Kareem Akbar. All right. So you know what that one was about. All right. New Jack City. Number 2. I'm gonna have to hit you with 1999, The Best Man.
Best man. Yo, you got a lot of Tay Diggs up in there, man. I don't know if it's that. If y'all got that same chin, I don't know if it's the chin that y'all carry the same. Or what, man?
And the hairstyle.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But check it out. Check it out. Tay Diggs, Harper, Nia Long, Jordan, Morris Chestnut, the football player, Lance Sullivan, Terrence Howard was Q, Quentin. Then you had Julian, and who was Regina Hall? Candy.
Yeah, Candy.
Y'all ain't talking to
Morris.
me.
You forgot about merch.
Huh?
You forgot about merch. Yeah.
Merch fell in love. My bad.
Yeah, Merch fell in love with
Merch fell in love.
No, that was Julian. That was Julian.
No, that was Merch.
You're right. That was Merch.
Merch fell in love with the stripper.
That was Merch.
But the thing I liked about it was that the bond with the fellas, right? Number one. But then putting your ego aside to marry a woman, okay, that may have had a past that you disliked.
That's deep.
Do you have the ability to put your ego aside?
Katie is stupid.
And not care about the past of someone that you love? You know, because Lance had a problem with that. Lance almost threw him over the balcony.
Yeah, but that was
right.
Huh?
Not just having a pass. That was a pass with his homeboy.
Yeah.
With a homeboy.
That was a pass with his boy. That was his boy. Hey, Wardy, what you got, man?
Yo, it's hard.
Wardy, what you got for our top 5?
I really can't name it. I can't name my top 5.
He didn't do a number one.
Let me get my number 1. That was 4. Number 1, 1992, Boomerang.
I knew he was going to say that up in there.
Eddie Murphy.
That's my joint right there.
You got the greatest comedians on there. Eddie, Martin Lawrence. You got David Allen Greer. You got John Witherspoon. You got Halle Berry. You know what I'm saying? Here's a man that objectified women, right? And then he was put in the role of being objectified.
Yep.
Right? You know what I'm saying? He couldn't handle that.
Hey, pass the plate around. Pass the plate around when you finish.
Listen, pass the plate. I take a $20 donation.
You're going to take a $20 donation?
Right? Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think that was my 5 right there.
I really
that's a good 5.
You up next, Ward.
Because there's so many good black movies that I just love to watch. You know, and y'all named all of them. Except for the one where I went to go sit in the movies with some of the fellas, and we didn't pay. We just walked up in that joint like we own the place. Boys in the Hood. And when I left,
that's a classic right there.
I really wanted to go back and give him some money. That was my shot. That was the shot.
That's a classic.
Yeah,
that's classic right there. That's a classic.
But there are some old black movies that I really love to watch. That if they come on, I just gotta watch them. Any Richard Pryor movie,
yes.
Any Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier movie comes on, I'm watching.
Okay.
And Let's Do It Again. Right there.
You always like that one,
man. Let's Do It Again. And what was the other one?
Upside Down Saturday Night.
Uptown Saturday Night, man.
Yeah.
With Little Seymour. Yeah, they I like the old movies.
Yeah, Dre, what you got, Dre?
It's hard.
Good, Dre.
Yeah, I'm with KD. I like the older movies, man. I'm a do the right thing kind of guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spike Lee joint.
Monkey.
A little Spike Lee, man. Then I like Martin's movies, man. Like Life.
Which ones? Yeah.
Life.
Okay.
Remember Life?
Yeah.
I love that movie, man. I can sit because it's him and Eddie Murphy, all day.
Mm-hmm.
So, they feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
Very, entertaining, man. It gradually got to where they were like older, and when they were older, they were just as funny, man. When they made them older,
that was ad lib too.
Yeah, a lot of it was ad lib. Remember Juice?
Loved it.
Yeah. Juice definitely is classic.
I kind of put Tupac on the map. You know what I mean? To me,
yeah, that's definitely classic.
Other than his music, two more. Because y'all named a couple of my joints.
Go ahead.
Soul Food.
If they're yours.
Yes.
Soul Food.
Yep. Another one.
I love Soul
That's another
Food.
classic. That's another classic right there. Big Mama.
I mean, Big Mama. It's another classic. And my greatest movie of all time in terms of what I feel is Denzel. I think this movie put Denzel on the map in his glory.
Okay.
Yo, Glory was dope. Glory was dope.
Yeah,
Glory was dope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had the one little tear coming down.
Yeah.
Man. And he won the Oscar for that. So that was his.
Beating, Dre. He took that beating.
Yeah, he took that beating like no none other. So that's my. They had no shoes. Love that movie. I could watch that movie all day, every day. So that's my top 5.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, Keith, bring it home. Keith, bring it home for us.
Yo, I think. I love the Bad Boy series, man. The whole Bad Boy series, 1, 2, and 3. It took them, I think, about 20 years to do the third one after completing the second one. I'm huge on Bad Boys, Martin and Will Smith, man. I think the combination between them two, man, is dynamic. Also, Harlem Nights.
I guess Harlem Nights.
Lost him again.
What happened?
Man, he took the bag and split.
I hear the audio, but I don't see his video.
Yeah.
He's still talking.
So for the most, all of us have some of the same movies. There we go.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, man. So Bad Boys, man. The next one I said is Harlem Nights, man. Harlem Nights. I completely love Harlem Nights, man. I also got Love and Basketball. Sanaa Lathan, Omar Epps, definitely just that whole thing, man. When they talk about, when it comes to love, man, when he played on that basketball court, you know what I mean? Another one I got is what's that? Love Jones. Love Jones. Love Jones is one. Love Jones. I don't know if anybody mentioned that. Love Jones is one of my favorite as well.
Soundtrack.
Soundtrack off the chain, man. Soundtrack is off the chain. The one thing, I was never a big Bill Bellamy fan, man. I don't know what it was about that cat, man. But I struggled with him in that movie, man. I struggled with him with everything, man. Yo, Bill Bellamy, Love Jones. And my last one, man, I look at it different, is Minister Society. I think Minister Society is a straight comedic movie. That is one of the funniest movies out there, man. Just some of the stuff that they say, man. I think I could say that movie from the beginning. Huh? You said you walked the bottle of beer. What you say about my mom? Yo, and another one. I think I shared it with EB. I shared it with another one. Actually, Kat is on. I was just talking to Kat about it. The photograph. The photograph with Issa. I thought the photograph was freaking amazing. You gotta check that out, man. It's with Issa Rae, man. That movie is off the chain, man. I love that movie, man.
Black dude, Lakeith something, I think his name.
Yeah.
He's a good actor. Yeah,
he's definitely a good actor, man. So
I like Issa Rae. She's good, man.
Yeah.
Issa's. I'm rooting for Issa, man. So welcome everybody. Welcome to our episode, our podcast, our show with just our thoughts and the fellas, where we talk about current events, we talk about national news, we talking about trending topics, things that's going on in our culture, sometimes sports, and we also will touch on some fan questions. So today we got the fellas with us. We got KD. KD is in the house, man. What's going on, KD, man? KD, my man, KD.
What up?
Wardy is hanging out with us. Wardy is hanging out with us today, man. If you, hey, don't get it twisted. If y'all think we back in the 90s, that's not Heavy D. That's at the bottom of your screen. That's not Heavy D. That's not the bump diddly D.
Yeah.
That's my man Wardy.
Yes, sir.
That's my man Wardy. We got EB, the specialist. My man EB.
What up?
And last, definitely not least, my dude Dre.
Yo,
Dre, counselor at law.
Got
my brother Dre up in here, man. We got my man Dre up here, man.
What's up, fellas?
Dre, man, we want to thank you for joining, man. We know you're a busy dude, man, but you definitely part of the fellas and what we got going on.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. So, we had to have you on. You already know you got your spot. So we just wanted to touch on some trending topics and some, what's going on, man. One of the things that popped up, man, and I don't know if y'all wanted to touch on it, man, was R. Kelly's attack in prison, man. I saw last week that he got attacked in prison by a Latin king, and I know sometimes things go down, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, what y'all was thinking about.
Hey, check this out. Let me start this off, Keith.
Hey, hold up. Let me preface this. You mind if I preface this, E? Hey, especially since you started this off.
I had a feeling you was going to go there with that. I knew where you were going.
Yo, EB, if y'all don't know, EB is one of the biggest R. Kelly fans, out there in terms of his music. Of his music.
Right.
EB loves R. Kelly's music, man. And you could always catch EB. It don't matter. We ready to go play some ball out Fairview on Morgan Boulevard. He got R pumping in that red in the red car.
hey, I know.
So yeah, now, go ahead. I know you love him.
I know. Now let me change that narrative and update.
I got you.
That narrative. Now the new narrative is fan of his music, but not a fan of his behavior.
Right.
Make that
we know that.
I'm right there with you.
So
his music talks about his behavior. So what are you saying?
It does. What I want to say is what he's done is not a good thing. We all know that. Mm-hmm. But I just want to go here with it now that I preferenced that. So at the time before R. Kelly was going to get beat down, something was going to happen to him. As you know, inmates, they don't like other inmates' behaviors. Now, R. Kelly, the reason why that happened was because, and I did a little research on that to see actually how that thing went down. This former Latin king, he claimed he attacked R. Kelly to expose government corruption.
Uh-huh.
R. Kelly had some demonstrators and some supporters come up to the correction facility, and that caused an uproar, which caused all of the inmates to be on lockdown. So this is why this former Latin king guy attacked R. Kelly. He had claimed he attacked R. Kelly in hopes of getting spotlight attention and world news notice to shed light on wrongdoing by the government. Now, here's my thing. A lot of people don't know, but back in 2017, this guy who attacked R. Kelly needs to go through some psychiatric and psychological some counseling because he's been known to have some strong mental illnesses. So that's what I wanted to say about that on that topic regarding R. Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, as it relates to his behavior, obviously I knew that he was going to be challenged, so to speak, and
right.
everything. I mean, they don't really take too kindly
anybody, child molesters or anything like that.
Right.
So I knew he was going to be challenged. But this is, and I read the same thing, as it relates to this Latin King, wanting to bring some attention and exposure, to the corruptness of the, of the government, and unfortunately, R. Kelly was the collateral damage, in this. I know that his attorneys have been attempting, since day one to try to get him out, and when I first read it, I felt like this was like a stunt by R. Kelly, to try to get him out.
Try to pull a Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
I thought that was this type of vibe. I still kind of have some sort of
it's more into it than what they tell us.
Reservations as to how the validity of this whole thing, because you have he's been trying to get out from day one.
Right.
This Latin King who's down for double murder.
Right.
And so he's never getting out.
Yeah, he ain't never getting out.
So he's the perfect,
he's the perfect one to go after.
So this Latin King talking about some sort of government, he want to bring attention to the government's That's like, I don't know about that, man.
Right.
And then I also read, and then I passed it along to one of the fellas. I also read that one of the correctional facility officers, followed this Latin King.
I saw that.
Cell, and let
him do it.
Yeah, let this thing go on. So, I still have some reservations. I don't know, it's when people greasing palms, R. Kelly may have said, I don't know, and I'm not putting it out there in the sphere, but R. Kelly may have said, listen, I'll hit your family off for the rest of the, who knows? R. Kelly.
That could be true.
He's still getting paid. So, that's how I read these, articles, what have you. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in and add something?
Yeah. Kev.
I'm just, my thing is, I don't condone the actions that he did with the minor girls and stuff like that. I'm a fan of the music, but give the man his day in court. Why is he still in general?
Recently?
Huh?
I said we heard that recently. We heard that recently.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
The man is day in court. I always say that.
Yeah, give him his day in court. Why is he in general population?
Right.
And this is the reason why I think it's two different systems, two different correctional systems, two different justice systems. Because if this was a white celebrity that had committed the same offense, he would have been out on bail by now. And his trial probably would have taken place. Again, I don't condone what R. Kelly did, but I think because he's a black dude, they have him languishing in jail in general population, making him a prime target, not only because of his crime, but because even in prison, these dudes can get a claim to fame because of what they did to R.
Let me play devil's advocate for a little bit, with you, Kev. So their thing will be, hey, well, we try and treat him like everybody else. We don't want to give him that celebrity status. He should be treated like everyone else.
It's a double standard, though. It's a double standard when it comes to white celebrities. There's a double standard. Harvey Weinstein, who has been for years having allegations of misconduct and sexual misconduct with these actresses, that casting couch stuff that's been going on in Hollywood. He got charged. I didn't see him go to jail and in general population. I didn't, and on top of that, he had his day in court. R. Kelly been languishing in jail longer than Harvey Weinstein had charges on him.
Right.
I just see two different standards when it comes to black celebrities, they want to crucify us and make examples of black people that no matter your success, when you get a criminal charge, even though you're a celebrity, your money and your fame will not buy you out like it will for a white celebrity. Okay, I think Harvey Weinstein got charged criminally, and this dude is still at home. He's not in jail.
I don't think he's in jail.
It's two different justice systems when it comes to us, whether we just a regular black dude or even a black dude that has some type of fame.
Yeah, so I also
give him his day in court.
Give his day in court. I also think that I think our country is behind the curve when it comes to mental health. I think when it comes to mental health, we are so far behind and always playing catching up. Right. You know, we could definitely and certainly speak about R. Kelly, you know, and the things that he's going through. A lot of people are very familiar with his story, but you know, he's at the height of his career. What help has he gotten? You know, I think EB&I and I think KD mentioned it too. You know, about the brother in New York who got shot, and it was a mental health patient. You know, right. And I just think that, you know, when it comes to America, our country, we're just so far behind when it comes to how to treat mental health patients, how to cope, how to understand, how to, you know, speak to them, how to approach them, how to and how to be, I guess, just be appropriate in terms of just having a better awareness, better understanding of mental health. You know,
but you know, I think not to cut you off, but I think our thing I think our thing is that, you know, we don't want to, you know, recognize or acknowledge the fact that we may have a problem.
Right. Either, absolutely. You know I mean? Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
So that's you know, step one. Two, you know, in terms absolutely. Of the resources, and I'm talking about our community. You know,
I'm with you, Dre.
You know, I have represented, you know, a couple individuals, even, you know, in the military, from the military, man, and you know, they didn't want to acknowledge the fact that, you know, they were, you know, paranoid schizophrenic, you know, so it hindered them from getting their benefits because they were, you know, so they were so removed, you know, from, you know, service. And when you're like, you know, so many years removed from the service, you can't get the necessary benefits because you weren't diagnosed at that particular time, you know. So, you know, it's an unfortunate thing, you know, that we don't acknowledge, you know, in our community. You know, obviously, you know, no one wants to say that they, you know, are bipolar or paranoid schizophrenic because that the negative connotation. But you know, I think the more we start to acknowledge those things, you know, the better, you know, we will be. And we have to understand, listen, you know, the white folks do it all the time, you know, that they acknowledge these things, they get their benefits and, you know, whether it's SSI or whatever, you know, you know, SSD, you know, and in terms of, you know, moving forward with their lives, they get the treatment, what have you. But it's such a negative connotation in our community, you know, that we don't, you know, capitalize on getting that mental health, you know, treatment.
If I could add something to what Dre was saying, there is a stigma in the Black community when it comes to mental health. But in R. Kelly's case, I think the issue with him is that there's been too many people that's been enabling him for so long.
I agree.
You know, he's had, I mean, since the 90s. You know, it wasn't really a secret about what his proclivity was. And he's had a lot of people to kind of help enable that behavior to continue. You know, it was nobody really in his on his team that would speak up and speak out against it. Okay, this predatory behavior that he had. But when you do that, you ruin all these lives. You got to have somebody on your team that's able to give you a different perspective or a different outlook. If you got a bunch of yes men on your squad
Yeah.
Then you're not going to grow. You're not going to build. You're not going to see your flaws and ways that you can help correct yourself. You know, and we see that with the president that we got in the White House. He's a predator himself, and all that he has around him are people that will agree with his views and his perspectives and his agenda. You know, so when you got a bunch of people that enable the behavior from R. Kelly to President Trump, there's nothing you can really do for them, because the enablers only empower them even more to continue their predatory acts.
But what kills me is the ones that was enabling them are the ones that are speaking out against them.
Right. That's because they didn't get paid no more.
And it's the same thing with Trump. It was like they was okay when they was in there collecting, you know, getting a little paycheck from him. But then when he found fit, it's like, look, you don't need to be around no more. Especially like with Omarosa and the rest of them. Soon as they get let go, now it's, yo, Trump's an asshole. He's a bigot. He's a racist. He's this. He's that.
I'll give the one dude, John Kelly, credit. The former chief of staff. He did a lot of blocking things that Trump was going to do that really was not beneficial to him or to America. And he got booted out because he was a no man. You know, he was one that would critique and say no. You know, a lot of those that did get let go was, you know, people that went along with the agenda, but didn't have the balls or the gall to speak up until they got out to write a book.
Right. So that means that it's really all about the money. You're in that.
Oh, definitely.
You're getting money, but now that you're out of it and you're not getting money,
it's time to
now you want to come out and talk about it.
Right.
And to that point about writing books, that's another avenue now to speak out and to get more money now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, so next, man, we had this you know, another thing that was going on in Jersey, man. We had this pay to swim pool party, which was broken up in Gloucester Township. After over 250 people were found in the residential's home backyard. The party was broken up last Sunday after police got several calls about the Jarvis Road home. Police said there were between 250, 300 people, none of whom were wearing masks or social distancing. The front lawn and street were littered with broken bottles and trash. A security guard for the party told police it was a family event, while attendees told police they were charging between $100 and $150 for just to get into this party, man. And I'm sitting there. The first thing that came to my mind was numbers. I'm like, damn, you charging somebody $100, and $150. I'm like, yo,
I could even pay $20.
Hey, I want to know what I'm getting for $100 and $150.
Yeah,
I know what you getting.
You give me a bottle of Dom. Do I get a bottle with that?
I want to know what's on the menu, man, for $100 and $100.
VIP.
What's on the menu, man?
Not just not just shrimps. Do I get a lobster tail?
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The thing is that, you know, obviously people still aren't taking this thing seriously. You know, I mean, you know, even without the corona, you know, virus thing, you know, charging people to, you know, get into that's illegal. I mean, period. You know, you got to have like some sort of a vendor's license, you know, to do that. You know, so for people to actually, you know, pay the $100 and $150, you know, dollars to, you know, get into a pool party.
Yeah, that's that janky promoters joint.
Yeah, it's like it's
janky.
Yeah, janky promoters.
Hey, Dre, to your point, Dre, to me, I'm starting to think that that's some type of financial something that this guy has been doing for the past 2 or 3 years.
Probably.
He's looking at this now as a moneymaker. So
hey man, he made some money.
Yeah, the sad part about it is he's continuing on this whole pool party thing, you know, putting people's lives in jeopardy. You know, anytime you have over 200 people, and you're going to pay all that amount of money. Now, you know, the CDC regulations are you can have small gatherings, 25 to 35 people, whatever that is. But I think he just kind of went over the top with this whole thing, man.
Yeah, yeah. He went way over the top with this one.
If I could jump in,
financial thing.
If I could jump in, I think like people just want to get back to a sense of normalcy. You know, they just want to get back to doing some regular things, be it a party or a movie. You know, I think you're seeing like it come to a head now where people are going to do these things because it's just kind of a reaction. It's a reaction to how this thing was handled in the first place.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that it was mishandled in the first place by our government. You know, and that's why we got the number of deaths that we do. And we got a projected model of 200,000 deaths by January because this government mishandled this thing from the beginning. By now, we should be in a point in time where we should be further ahead of this virus and understanding it and pretty much having it under wraps by now. You know what I'm saying? But because we were late in mishandling this by the government, now you're seeing things come to a head because businesses are tired of being broke. You know, people are tired of being unemployed, and people are just tired of being cooped up in the house. Right. You know, I'm not saying what they did is right, but you're only seeing now a reaction of how the government mishandled this from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So there, I'm not condoning them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning Sicklerville and this party or whatever. But you know, people have their breaking points. Yeah. You know, people have their expiration. You know, there's only so much of saying to a person what they cannot do for so long. I mean, if we got ahead of this thing earlier, we would be further along.
Even on a good day, you know, when this coronavirus is not happening, man, you don't have like 250 people, you know, in your backyard, you know, just.
Dre, stop. Because they do have parties like that. They do have parties like that. It's the summertime. Man. It's the summertime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I understand that they do.
Like this. I'm
gonna have a white party.
This is nothing new. I mean, yeah, you got Labor Day parties, you got white parties, you got all type of Spirit of Philadelphia.
They have functions though, aren't they? Have functions.
That's 250 people in your back being charged $150.
But like what Eric said, this is probably something that this individual had going on before just now. But now he's under scrutiny because of state regulations concerning the virus. But this is probably something that he's done all the time.
I think maybe he's under scrutiny because neighbors are complaining because of the broken bottles and this and that. Yeah. You know what I mean? As well. Yeah. Now, if they were 250 people and they were chilling in the back and they were just having a good time, maybe they wouldn't have got the call. You know what I mean? You know, but they 250 people, they going buck wild and breaking bottles and things of that nature. So, but
the littering was an issue. Right. Other than that,
it was a huge issue.
That was the issue.
It was also
parking. It wasn't parking, littering, but it wasn't.
It was also
out of crazy.
Cops also giving out a lot of tickets due to parking. Parking.
In the
guests for the party. Yeah, guests were parking in front of other people's houses, in front of fire hydrants. They were passing out tickets.
Well, but here's the thing, though: you can't give them a parking ticket for parking in front of somebody's house.
And zoning violations. That's what the word is: littering, noise, and zoning violations.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. There you go.
Littering and parking. I still don't see that excessive though.
It's not excessive, but that's what brings attention. Then they throw the extra thing on there, the corona. Right. That just puts the icing on the cake.
Hey Dre, and I don't want to keep it racist. I don't.
But
I know. But yeah,
this was on. Kim said it was on.
I don't.
Hey, Kim,
it was in Sicklerville.
I don't want to.
Go ahead, KD.
It's two systems, man. It's two systems. We will come under scrutiny anytime because we are black.
Yep.
And if this was a white function in Cherry Hill or Mount Laurel or Shamong, it probably would not have been such an issue on television.
Right, but because
the people were black, the DJ was black, the homeowner was black, it brought a lot more scrutiny to it. That's just me being pro-black.
Yeah, but that's where we have to be a little bit more, savvy about, how we conduct our business. Unfortunately, we have to be a little bit more savvy. We got to make sure that individuals aren't blocking fire hydrants. We got to keep the noise to a minimum. We can still have a good time, but we got to be within the framework of how.
I totally agree with you on that.
I mean, we got to be a little bit more savvy because we're going to be scrutinized. So we gotta,
after a certain time, turn that volume down a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, tell people to come back into the yard. Don't be hanging outside.
Yeah, don't be hanging out in the neighbor's yard, pissing on their lawn.
I don't think they did all that, but go ahead.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, all right.
Hey,
y'all embellish. Y'all embellish.
When another story, man, 45 is at it again. Doing what he got to do, man, trying to make folk in North Carolina break the law by telling them, make sure y'all vote twice. You get a vote. You get a vote. You get a vote. You get a vote.
You get a vote twice.
You get a vote twice. So if you're not sure that it is, it's definitely against the law. Man. So last week, Trump was telling North Carolinians to make sure that their vote counted by telling them to vote twice. And I think that's against the law throughout, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a federal law.
It's a federal law. It's a felony. Yeah,
it's a felony, man. Yeah, so when he tells people to go out and vote, go out and vote twice, he's this guy, man. He can get away with anything. It's the thing where he's telling people to go out and commit a crime.
Yes.
And when you have the head of state saying that. One of the most powerful people in the world, and I say one of the most powerful people in the world because Putin is just as powerful, and that's his boy,
Right.
So
he don't want controlling the strings.
Exactly,
poison his competitor.
Yep. So when you're telling people to do that, and he's just getting a pass. He's getting a pass that people are just like, okay, so what? He told him to do that, or then his White House spokesperson, Kayleigh somebody, I forget her name, but she's like, no, he didn't really say that. He's just saying that if this happens, then da 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 da. No, he's telling people to vote by mail. Yeah, to vote by mail.
He's telling them to try it,
and then go in and try it.
But what came out was he was trying after the fact he was trying to say that's what he wants to prove, that there is voter fraud. But you're just telling them to go ahead and commit voter fraud. So why would you tell them to go out and try it? No, you don't tell them people to try it.
He brings up, but Trump brings two things I got out of that. He brings up an interesting point that is there really a tracking system from when you mail your ballot in to when you actually going in person, okay? Right. Because there is a window, and there's probably no tracking system in place for when a person, you can see on the computer, you can go and you can check the tracking or the status of your in-person ballot. But if you go to your in-person ballot location, polling place, they don't have a record of what you've mailed in. You see how ancient and primitive our system is. is that a person can do this. They can get away with this because there's no accountability in the system to check and see what I've done via mail versus when I show up at the polling place. They can't tell that I've already sent in my. But wait a minute, the other point I just wanted to bring out real quick was that I really feel like strongly that, like, I don't want to discourage nobody from voting, but I think he's going to do everything and anything that he can to cheat his way back into office. And this is what he's putting into process with putting a man in charge of the Postal Service, you know, a GOP donor, so that he can fix everything perfectly to rig the system for him to be in there for another 4 years.
Absolutely.
I don't think either way he's going to leave the White House immediately. You know, I think that he's going to, you know, stay there, you know, because if he loses, you know, he's going to say, hey, you know, the voting system was, you know,
rigged.
Yeah.
Here's something on that note. Just like what KD said about tracking, like what you mailed in, as far as them going to the polling place. But even if they did have a tracking thing, how is it going to work when they got postal carriers dumping trays of mail in the trash?
There should be some type of check-off system to work.
Huh?
There should be some type of check-off system. You know, the normal process.
Yeah, but when you drop that mail in a mailbox or give it to your mail or your postman walking down the street, now it's left your hands, so you don't know what's happening with it.
But that's
now, if they all put that now, here's the thing. Now the article that I seen where they seen this mail carrier dumping a whole tray full of mail in a dumpster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who knows if there could have been votes, ballots in that mail?
So that's why they recommend that you don't mail it in. You take it to the Board of Elections. They have certain locations where you can take your ballot, not by mail, but hand deliver it to your county Board of Elections or these certain drop-off locations specifically for your ballot. Because you don't know if your mail-in ballot will get there in time, will get counted, or will get there, period, like you said. You know, might get dumped in a dumpster. So, you know, but a lot of people ain't gonna be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? That physically take it there. That's why I'm glad that the NBA made a stand. They made a stand to strike. They didn't boycott the NBA. They did a strike. And what the owners agreed to was to make arenas certain in-person voting polls. You know what I'm saying? So that people can go, because really, I think in Camden City, there's only going to be one location. You know, you used to see every school back in the day. Used to be a polling location. This year, they say because of the pandemic, but I think it's other things about it. They're only going to have one location in Camden City, and they're not going to let you know what that is until later on this month by mail. You know, so that's why it's important. You got to call to see if you registered where you live at. You got to call even to make sure that they mail you a ballot. And then you got to take it to your those drop-off locations, the county Board of Elections, or those ballot boxes that they have specifically for your mail-in.
And Kev, to your point, Kev, on that, that's a recipe for disaster. Having one central location, that's just set up so that you will be discouraged not to vote, not to drop off, and not to go in and vote.
So you gotta remain. So the moral of the story is that you gotta remain steadfast and immovable. You know,
preacher. Hey,
despite the So I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to stand out there. You know, we can stand in line to get the latest Jordan sneaks and get the latest iPhones and you know, things like concert tickets and so you gotta stay in there, man.
But you know what? I think that's another reason why the government probably has handled this pandemic the way they have. It's an election year. They can use that, as a backdrop for doing, making this possible.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
But one last thing, the propaganda that Donald Trump is throwing out there to cast doubt on your vote, period, with the post office. He's doing a good job of it because that propaganda is going to make less people go out to vote.
And that's
all right. That's the trick of the book.
Yes.
To continue to cast doubt on the election system that if the Democrats win, it's rigged.
Right.
So your vote really don't matter because it's already predestined that Biden's going to get in there. So he's doing a good job of getting that propaganda out there to make less people either do in ballot or in person.
That's why we got to keep on having. That's why we got to keep on having conversations like this.
Yeah, definitely.
So we can, dispel all those notions, that this president is trying to, put forth to the people. It's people like us, people like other podcasts that need to get the truth out there to let people know, like, listen, what your president's talking about, those are not the facts. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah, so, just get out there and vote. There's there's a need to get out there and vote. So hopefully, our elderly people, things are getting set up right now so that they can be taken to the polls. If not, their uncles, their nieces, their nephews, whatever, they can help them, fill out these mail-in ballots, so they could get these mail-in ballots in. I wanted to switch it up, a little bit, fellas. Definitely wanted to switch it up. As we talk about Trump in 2020, we talk about the voting. This is a awkward year, a different year than what we're used to, with starting off with Kobe passing away, Kobe and Gigi, then the protests, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and a lot going on this year. Then last week, we just lost Chadwick Boseman, man. And that was definitely devastating to everybody, man. Certainly our Black culture. I had an opportunity just to watch, man, the young Black boys, just throwing up, the Wakanda Forever sign, as in memory of him, man. And it was touching, thinking about how they view him, just not as an actor, but just as a hero, So, one of the things that I thought about, man, was it wasn't too much, man, that people could say about Chadwick, man. He lived a great life, it appeared, man. He held his family dear to him, and his family and friends were the only ones that knew that he was going through this battle. Right. And that was his wish, that was what he chose to do. And the one thing that, that stood out for me was, just simply having core values. And, I thought about that. And one of my questions to my fellas, to my brothers, it would be just to shift it a little bit, man. And just to simply ask, and, when we talk about core values, what are your core values? I know 3 of my brothers on here, actually 4 of us, we have sons. Ward doesn't have any children that we know of. Ward doesn't have any children.
Goose egg, brother, goose egg.
Jokingly, but Ward, but I say, jokingly, I say that jokingly, but you still stand for something. You still have your values. You still, are respected, not just only in your community, with your family and, at work. So I wanted to ask the fellas, man, what are you guys' core values? And it doesn't have to be a 5, it doesn't have to be a 3, but whatever, is your core values.
Go first.
I want to kick that off. I'll go first.
All right.
Basically, I just live by one core value of, treat others as I want them to treat me. Right. You know what I mean? Because it's like, do I want to run around and be frowned upon? Like, yo, he got a mean streak, even though they think I do. But, I mean, it's just like, you get to know me, I'll take the shirt off my back, give it to you. You know, right. I'm
That's
always there to help. You call me like, Ward, I need a hand. What you need?
Right.
I'll be there.
That's true. That's true.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And
That's
it's
true.
like if I need a hand, I'd expect a hand.
Yeah.
So I'm always willing to give mine.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, I'll go second. For me, my core values, for me, I would say number one, it's got to be faith. I still live by the scripture, Philippians 4:13. I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's number one right there for me. Number two, I'm going with responsibility. Responsibility. Underneath of responsibility, I'm putting probably family under that. I've actually challenged myself, man, over the years just to try and be a good provider, man, for family, my kids, wife, accountability, all those things, man, they just factor in, man. And then I want to say probably health. I like to get my workout in. I'm not saying that I'm lifting 400 pounds and I'm running 10 miles on the regular.
Right.
But I like to, get my workout, walking, that is 2 to 3 miles, couple days a week.
Right.
Those are pretty much my core values. And the last one I got to say is probably respect, man. You guys have me, man, for over 30 years, bro. I'm just always trying to be respectful and just give out that positive energy with the hopes of getting that back in return. So for the most part, those are my core values and principles.
Yeah. Just to piggyback on, E, that's probably, other than, faith, which you talked about as well, is respect. Respect is high on my list because we need to respect, each other. We need to respect, whether it be respect each other's space, respect each other's, views, respect each other's opinions, respect each other's lifestyle. Respect is really big on my list. Honesty is big on my list as well. To be as transparent, as possible. I'm in a profession, where I don't get that all of the time, and I do, try to reach out to my clients and let them know, like, hey, you can trust me, where that's where the respect level comes in, and respect level trickles down to honesty, because if they don't respect you, they're not going to be honest with you, right? So so those are the three core morals and values that I have. But there's one more, and that is perseverance.
Right.
Listen, we all come from Camden.
Yes.
We were all, a part of that, negative, conversations in terms of Camden and, what happened. But we persevered, we 30 years or so later, we're still, bonding, we're still friends, we still hang out, we still, have families and, relationships and what have you. So, perseverance, is one of those things where, as a young, Black male growing up in Camden, had to persevere. So those are my three core plus that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kevin Kev. Oh, okay.
Kevin Kev.
Like Dre said, we all from Camden. My situation is a little different because I'm still here in Camden. I live in Camden, work in the city. I worship here at church. So, my heart still bleeds for the city because I'm here. So I kind of get to see things, on on a consistent basis. I agree with all the core values. It's just one for me that I feel like has been passed down from my grandpa to me, and it's a value called servant leadership. And that is it's a core value that really comes from an unselfish mindset. It's a leadership strategy that really makes you have to put other people first. Because when I thought about, what our core values are, it's really who we are in a community. Be it our family, our friends, our church, or whatever community group you are involved in. It's who you are, in that community that you belong to. So when I looked at servant leadership, I just looked at, that's me. I want to have a life of service to all those facets of my life: my church, my community, my family, and my friends. The one thing that I learned is that you got to be okay with seeing other people succeed. A lot of people don't. Okay, Camilla, I see her.
Hey, Camilla.
Her comment.
Hey, Camilla.
Blocking my face now. That's a long one, girl.
Yeah.
but that willingness to serve and not being served, and working in someone else's vision. You know what I'm saying? That's when I think God will open doors for your own personal vision to come to pass, because we all got short-term, long-term goals. We all got, an end result, an outcome that we want God to bless us with. But it's all about working in someone else's vision and helping their vision come to pass and be successful, that can plant the seed for your future goals to also come to pass. You know what I'm saying? I'm all just like Wardy said, I think we all got that thing where we all want to work in one another's vision.
Right.
And want to help propel one another to that next level that we need to go to. But are you really happy when you see someone genuinely succeed? You know what I'm saying? And also within helping someone to succeed, being able to give people a strategy on how to succeed, a strategy on how to live a life, a strategy on how to have a good family, to have a good career. What's your strategy? What's your magic potion? Or, what was the steps of a good man that got you to the place that you are right now? You know what I'm saying? And Dre brought up a good thing as well that I think a lot of brothers aren't, and that's transparency. Because when you're transparent and you're open about your experiences, your successes, and your failures, you help somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, as men, we're not transparent because sometimes we see that as a form of weakness.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of times we don't want to go to other men because, again, that's a form of weakness when we're suffering or when we're in silence. I brought up to INF the other day about Chadwick. I was like, 4 years of him suffering with colon cancer.
You would have never known.
I'm sure that his inner circle knew that. But I wish I was able to support him along that way. If I had known, I feel shortchanged with him just dying.
Yeah, we all did. I think we all did.
I feel shortchanged with him just dying and not me knowing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that I could kind of, I know I'm distant from him. But man, I could have offered my prayers. I could have offered my supplications. I could have offered my good energy, to him, because I wanted to see a Black Panther too, and I wanted to see his legacy continue to grow and build, because he was an awesome dude.
I wanted to see everything beyond Black Panther.
That's why I say his legacy to grow and continue beyond it. So, in a way, I found myself kind of torn between, with his death, because his diagnosis could have helped so many Black men.
Yeah.
And then I wonder, do we suffer in silence like that?
Right.
You know, I know that he got his support, but do we as men, we suffer in silence and we're not transparent when we're hurting? And let me reach out to Dre, who have got an abundance of resources to help me. You know what I'm saying? But I've got to be the one that's able to be transparent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And me doing that, Dre's transparent about his personal experiences and his professional experiences that can help me live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the important things about servant leadership is that you got to be quick to be open and an open door of yourself, of your wealth, of your knowledge, and to be able to give of yourself. My feeding initiative that I do at the church has really helped me really be able to connect with people in Camden that don't live like me, that didn't have, we had the same challenges, but we're not at the same place like I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But regardless of that, there's got to be something that we can do collectively to serve others and to kind of propel them into their destiny.
I agree.
Well said.
Brother,
that's good stuff, man.
Kevin Kev, that was some good stuff, good brother.
I see your eyes whelping up a little bit. That transparency.
Dre stupid. You know, that's the go ahead. What'd you say? Nah, I think that's the good thing, man, with our crew, man, is that, you know, KD could call Ward and Ward can call KD, and, you know, KD called me and I call EB or Dre, and, you know, the fellas can bounce off one another, man, and without judgment, man, and
without judging.
Without judgment, man, and being able to be transparent, you know, I think it's something, you know, that I think it's a blessing, man, to be able to have that, man. You know,
but you know, we have something that's a blessing and a curse, and sometimes it gets in our way, and that's pride. You know what I mean? We want to be proud and put on that front like everything is cool. But we can't, man. We can't always say everything is cool, because when it ain't, because we need that help sometimes.
Yeah. We need a shoulder to lean on and be like, yo, bro, listen, this is what I'm going through. What's your advice on this? Have you encountered this situation before? If you have, what did you do? What was your lesson that?
Right.
So that I may use the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. I think my Katie, were you finished?
Yeah, he was finished on that, that one tier.
He stepped down.
What do you got that?
That's Rory teary-eyed thing.
Oh man, Katie, what Katie say? I'm gonna get 5 more minutes. I'm done. The congregation 5 more minutes. Yo, when I think of mine, man, I think I got several. I think one of the most important for mine is my faith. You know, just having faith in God, you know, it helps me in so many areas. It's helped me with my discipline, being disciplined and being patient. My faith, you know, just the simple fact that despite whatever I did through my 47 years of life, that he decided to wake me up the next morning, that when I put my foot down on that ground and take that breath, like I don't take that lightly, you know, early in the morning, that I'm able to, you know, move freely. As far as I know, my health is great. You know, I'm able to get a chance to work out, and I just trust God that, you know, in that. So just having the faith in him, you know, with my destiny, with my journey, and being able to know the mistakes I've made in my past, that he still wake me up. I think I know people say that, but it's so true. Like, yo, he decided to wake you up and just not take you to heaven overnight, you know. So my faith is certainly one of my most important core values. Another one is my family. You know, we got a small family that migrated from Georgia, you know, from my grandmother. You know, when she came up, you know, I remember a story my mom told me, her and my aunt picking cotton in Georgia just to be able to pay, you know, to get up here. back in the early 50s. So, my family is a small family, but it means the world to me, just simply being there for me. We got so many different dynamics within our family. My uncle, he's only about, I think, 5 years older than me, but he's like a bigger brother. My aunt, she's like an older sister, and, my older aunt, so, y'all know my family. We just, it just means so much to me, so, and that kind of, entails where responsibility comes in as well in terms of my core values, just simply because I am, responsible for certain things. My situation shifted up, you guys know. So, just still being responsible at home now, my family and where my kids are, with Tania, just still making sure that, their responsibilities, the kids are well taken care of. And you guys helped me through that, man. And when we talk about that transparency, Dre went through it, years ago, and certainly able to help me, through this process, in terms of the other fellas too, man, mistakes that we've made, the mistakes I've made, so, just being responsible, is certainly, one of my core values, man. So, we could definitely talk. I do got a question, man. War, you could chime in on this. But I do got a question. EB, you got twins. Dre, you got your little guy, and KD got two of them, man. I was thinking about your core values and how do they translate. When I think about core values, I think of your journey throughout life and how they can shift. How your core values can shift. When you're in your early teens, and maybe one thing, in your 20s, and maybe another thing, and then they may shift. Throughout your life, and throughout your journey. But how do you translate your current core values to that of your sons, to the boys?
Well, for me, I'm in constant conversation, man, with my little guys, man. I'm trying to teach them the same type of core values that I have, just faith and responsibility. And an example of that responsibility for my little guys at that age is cleaning up your room. That's a responsibility. Make your bed. Make your bed. Somebody once told me that at that age, your room is where you begin to learn who you are. So if you pick up that responsibility of cleaning up, that should follow you for the rest of your life, because that's the organization that first groomed to learn and respect. I like to talk to my guys, but every now and then, I might have to show them that belt. You guys know. I might have to bring that belt out, or sometimes I may not have to say anything, but they know what that means.
Right.
Yeah, dude. I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone with you, they be doing that thing, man.
Hey, man, all you guys have been on the phone with me, and I had to say, hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So just kind of transferring, those same core values to them on their level. So,
man, I remember one time I was talking to you on the phone, and the boys came in. You was upstairs. I'll never forget this, man. This was hilarious, man. You was upstairs. I don't know where you were upstairs, but then you heard the boys coming. I think you hit me with a shh. I think that's the boys. So you wanted to be quiet the whole time so they didn't hear you upstairs. I thought that was funny. I was crying laughing. I said, I know they're gonna come in the house looking for you, man. And your whole thing was to hide as long as you can until they found you.
They want to come jump on my back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world, though, man. To be
it is.
Hey, KD, while you were away, finding another spot, we were talking about how does we touched on core values, and we wanted to know, how does your current core values translate to your boys?
Mike, turn your mic on.
Mic not on, KD.
Turn your mic on, KD.
You hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
No, I think with the boys, I think the service is a big piece still, even with them. Because being young, y'all know that we are full of self and self-centered. And it's all about us as a young child or as a 20-year-old. So the one thing that I had them kind of do is kind of lead by example, especially within my family, because when my grandparents was alive, I was a kind of a caretaker for my grandfather and my grandmother until they passed away. So my kids saw me kind of, how your role begins to shift in family as your elders begin to get old. So for my grandparents, I was no longer their grandson, but I was almost like son now, equal with my mom and my uncle and my aunt, because I'm in a caretaker role for them, and I'm helping them manage the household and things of that nature. So now with my mom and her living with me, I'm not really her son anymore. But that's my mom. But I'm in a caretaking role, and in a lot of cases, I see myself as her dad. Because I have to care for her like a father would care for a child. So my sons see that service from me to be able to shift my role into what it needs to be for that particular moment. If it's fathering my mother, or down at the church feeding people, I take my 8-year-old down to the church with me when I'm feeding. When I'm giving out groceries, he knows exactly second or fourth Thursday. He's like, "Dad, you're going down to the church. Can I go?" And he goes with me, to kind of exemplify that service. So he sees it at home, the service that I do at home. He knows what my profession is. And also he sees my contribution to they see my contribution to my community. You know what I'm saying? My oldest is like that as well. He's got a strong work ethic. He's got 2 jobs. He's in college. You know what I'm saying? So I believe a lot of that is contagious when you emanate that and when you model that example of that servant leadership, because that's being a servant will get you to be one of the greatest in the kingdom, but you got to be able to serve.
Great.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that. I'm gonna let you go last, Trey. It's interesting that you say that. My son KJ, he's been watching me for years take care of my mom as she's going through some things, and he's been a part of it. And I think it was like maybe around in June, we had something planned to do. Me and the kids, it was something that we were supposed to do. And I was talking to KJ on the phone. He said that. He said, "Mommy back her in, so I'm gonna stay here with her." And is that modeling, just to make sure that his mom was straight. I thought it was funny as heck, but he sees it all the time. So it kind of, definitely, I certainly know what you're talking about.
You got to be able to model and to give the verbal instruction. At the same time, you got to be teacher and example. So
and and as Kev said, it's a thing where you do have to be, an example. And, my example, to my son is in that, unorthodox stage right now. He's like, he just turned 15, on August 31st. So, he is a very, he's eclectic, he loves music, I love music, so musician, he's all about that right about now. But one of the things I see that he is lacking, is that confidence, and he sees it from me, but because we have like this blended family thing, going on, I'm not sure if he's getting it over there or what have you, but he, has to be, with me in order to exude that confidence,
Right.
and he's getting there, but he's not there yet. He's not confident in his skills and abilities that relates to being a musician. He's very intelligent. Very intelligent. He's like light years as a 15-year-old that I remember myself as a 15-year-old.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, and he is very ambitious. Which I like. That's a part of confidence. But
absolutely,
I see the like some sort of reservation in terms of how he asserts himself. He's not confident in his skills and abilities. So we're working on that. And as he sees me more, as he grows within himself, as a Norwood, he will definitely get to that point. But I have to keep continuously exude that confidence, because I think that's what not only him but Black men need moving forward. That confidence in their skills and abilities, that we can compete with anybody.
Right.
We can be what we can, we could be president of the United States, we could be lawyers, we could be doctors, we could be social workers, we could be anything that we want to be.
Absolutely.
And if we continue that confidence, and like KD, E, yourself, Keith, and even Wardy, we have to continuously have these conversations with our boys.
Yes.
So our boys, can reach down and grab other boys whose grandfathers active in their lives. So we have to make sure that we continue to teach. We have to make sure that we continue to be examples, for our communities, man. That's why my office is in Camden, because I'm not only a lawyer, I'm a counselor. So when these guys come into my office, I have to counsel them, not just them be lawyered up, but try to counsel them, because once I am able to resolve their case, I want them to move on,
right,
to bigger and better things. And I've seen juveniles that I have represented, and they see me in the mall and they be like, "Oh, Mr. Norwood, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm in college, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." That makes me feel really, really good.
Right.
So we can't be as Black men, we can't be stingy, with our knowledge. We can't be, stingy, with our success. And we have to always exude confidence, in ourselves and in our boys.
There you go.
No, that's definitely some good stuff, right? That's some good. Yeah, man. I think we lost Ward.
Yeah, we lost Wardy for a little bit.
Yeah, we lost Wardy for a little bit. Yeah. So there you go.
Is he back on?
Yeah. He getting back on right now.
For some reason, my internet just blinked out.
But, I think
I don't know if y'all have finished that conversation or not, but I wanted to chime in.
You got it.
Right on time.
Even though I don't have any kids, but if I did have a kid, basically it comes down to, that lead by example, to treat people like you want to be treated. Because it was like that with my father. I see my father, he was very giving of himself. And so, my entire family was. So it's kind of like that was instilled in me. And, that's kind of how I kind of live my life now. It's like, it was funny how, when my father passed at the funeral, it was like, my Reverend Venable, he's like, one thing y'all didn't know, that your father did all this work in the church, didn't want to die, You know what I mean? We was like, that's the first we ever heard. So it's like, be giving of yourself.
Right.
You know, help others.
What was that? Was that Harris Temple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one out in Fairview.
Yeah, Harris.
Yeah.
Harris Temple, man.
Yeah, all that wrought iron work that
Yeah,
was done
I
there.
remember Harris Temple.
Yeah, my dad did all that.
Nice. Good
Nice,
stuff.
man. Nice,
Yeah.
man. Nice. Yeah. You know, so yeah, listen, I enjoyed tonight, man. It's like, you know, I was going through some things, you know, I was transitioning, you know, moving and things of that nature. And Keith, reached out to me, Inferno, aka Inferno, reached out to me, and listen, I'm an original member of the fellas.
Yeah, you definitely are. You definitely are, Dre. You definitely are, man.
So I said,
there's a couple of them.
Yes, I want to get on and.
Man. You it's always open, Dre. It's always open for you, man.
Yes,
you already know that, man.
Yes,
it's always open for you, man.
You see, good time, brother.
Almost.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to touch on, man. As we wrap our show up, just giving a couple shout outs to one sister, man, that I work with, Angie. She has a Sisters in Transformation Unleashes Gold Diggers. A women's conference and a live Zoom that's coming up Saturday, September 12th. And it's about revamping your body, reigniting your soul, re-energizing your mind, and regaining your finances. There is a $25 conference registration fee for this. So you can reach out to Angela at sistersintransformation@gmail.com. And sisters is spelled SISTAHS. sistersintransformation@gmail.com. So sisters, right now, everything is, everything is closed down, and you could do this Zoom. There's only $25 you can invest in revamping your body and reigniting your soul with these sisters right there. Another thing that's going on, we have KD, you could probably touch on this a little bit more at Victory Temple. Going down at Victory Temple every second and fourth Thursday. What's going on at Victory Temple?
I got the feeding.
Go ahead.
No,
you got it. This you.
I got the feeding initiative every 2 times a month. Groceries there. I got frozen. I got canned goods. We get some produce. We get eggs. So I'm just there trying to help, families or individuals with need every second and fourth Thursday. This Thursday, September 10th, I'll be there at the church at 530 426 North 2nd Street in Camden. Been doing it now for close to 8 years. So if you know someone in need, send them my way. Shoot Keith an email or a text or something, and we'll get in contact so that you can send them my way.
That's what's up.
Cool. That's what's up. But thanks.
If I can,
go ahead. You got it, Dre.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out. Yeah, I want to give a shout out. This thing is, we're like flattening the curve, here. So I want to, as we speak about sisters, and I want to give a shout out to my sister, Corinne Norwood. She was frontline, doing her thing with this coronavirus. She, works for the county of New Jersey, and she was out there doing the testing and things of that nature, man. She was just like, she was doing her thing. So all the frontline workers, I want to give a shout out to them, and specifically, in Camden, she was educating, individuals in Camden, and clearly they. Camden really needed it because it was almost like became a cesspool, of this coronavirus. It lost a lot of people in the city of Camden. So I want to give a shout out to her, and hopefully we continue to flatten the curve and we move forward with our lives in 2021, right. Be better, for moving forward.
Yeah. So thanks for everybody for coming out. This is if you can go to our YouTube page, Just Our Thoughts YouTube. We got a couple of our episodes out there on podcast. Subscribe, like to our YouTube page. Continue to watch it, send it out, share our podcast. We're not just trying to reach certain areas. We're trying to, continue to build our brand and continue to have these conversations, where we have 5 or 6 brothers, sitting here talking and being transparent. So if you can, go to our YouTube page, Just Our Thoughts, subscribe, like it, go to our Facebook fan page, Just Our Thoughts as well, subscribe, like it, and continue to share it. We want to appreciate you guys for coming out. Appreciate your time, this hour and 30 minutes, of time, that you spending with us. So, I definitely want to send another shout out. Go ahead, Wardy.
Yeah, before we go, I want to bring up this payroll tax holiday.
We got to save it, Wardy. We got to
save that.
We got to save
it.
It.
I mean, it's going on now, so the people need to know.
INF is giving his closing remarks.
Oh, y'all just cut me off, right?
No, I ain't cut you off. I just want to, I want to respect people's time, man. They were so gracious of spending an hour, 30 minutes with us. And we definitely, something else is going to come back up on Wardy. And we definitely could talk about that, man. It was one thing, I was about to say, this upcoming school year, just send a prayers out, man, to our young kings, whether they're in elementary school, middle school, or high school, those entering college, whether they're doing college by home, man, just send a special prayer out for our young brothers, man, in terms of, praying that God, just, continues to stretch them, continues to bless them during this time, that God continues to give them everything that they need, during this time of schooling, that they're able to, get their schooling in the right way and all the hindrances and all the obstacles that is not as harsh, So I'm definitely praying for our young kings, man. This is an important time, man. Education is so freaking crucial. So I did want to throw that out there, man. Anything else, man? Y'all good?
We good, man.
Hey, y'all want to stop treating me like a redheaded stepchild. Just because I'm the light-skinned brother on the show.
I'll be sure.
Whoa, man.
Where you going there?
Oh, man.
Hey, just like you said in the beginning of the show, there ain't no celebrities on here now.
Hey, thank everybody. Thank everybody for coming out. And these are just our thoughts.
That's what's up.
Love you, brothers.
Love you too, man.
Much love, brothers.
Much love. Much love.
Yo, this joint ain't ending. Yeah.